Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. We are singing solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong. Victory. There is victory for us. Victory. There is victory for us. In the struggle. In the struggle for our members. There is victory for us. Forward ever. Backward never. In the struggle. In the struggle for our members. There is victory.
Isoleto.
Africa.
Africa.
Isoleto.
Luta.
Consiga.
Victoria.
Asata.
Solidarity.
Forever.
Our workers united.
Can never be defeated.
Our people united.
Can never be defeated.
Nigerians united.
Can never be defeated.
Solidarity Baba.
Baba.
Solidarity Kaba.
Kaba.
Solidarity Kobo.
Kobo.
Kaba.
Kaba.
Welcome everybody. All our comrades from SAC and SEC of Lagos State, and most especially the gentlemen and ladies of the press. To this press briefing happening today by the two labor centers, Nigeria Labour Congress, Trade Union Congress of Lagos State Councils, here at the NAM House, today being the 2nd day of June 2024. The two labor centers we are going to talk about the press briefing. I am going to take the test of the press conference of the 31st of May by the national body. And my colleague and my counterpart, the chairperson of State Union Congress Lagos State, will take the joint press briefing of NLC and TUC and Lagos State Council. The test of the press conference of 31st of May, commencement of an indefinite nationwide strike over the inconclusive national minimum wage negotiation and the refusal to reverse the hike in the electricity tariff. I will not read the whole text, but I will pick some of the points so as not to go to the long text. The Nigeria Labour Congress NLC and the Trade Union Congress TUC expressed the grave concern and disappointment over the federal government's failure to conclude and pass into law a new National Minimum Wage Act and reverse the vexatious hike in the electricity tariff to 65 naira kilowatts, from 65 naira kilowatts to 225 naira kilowatts, and for also creating dichotomy between the rich and the poor, creating band A to band Z, including the bandits. You will recall that during the last May Day celebration on the 1st of May 2024, we issued a clear ultimatum to the federal government demanding the conclusion of this critical exercise by the end of the month. However, there has been no significant progress or commitment from the government towards meeting this demand. We also demanded a reversal of the last hike in electricity tariff to 225 naira. This is a high level of insensitivity from the government. Back to 65 naira per kilowatt, and stoppage of the apartheid categorization of consumers into bands. We carried out a nationwide one-day protest on the 13th day of May 2024, giving the government until the last day of this month, that is 31st of May, to take action. The government has not deemed fit entirely shown any positive response, despite the national outrage at this insensitive hike. Nigerian workers, who are the backbone of our nation's economy, deserve fair and decent wages that will reflect the current economic reality. It is disheartening that despite our repeated calls and the clear ultimatum issue, the government continues to neglect its responsibilities to the worker. It has rather than engage in a dialogue persistently raised its attack dogs to seek to denigrate and intimidate trade union leaders. It continues to remain our belief that the people ought to be the only reason for governance and nothing else. Government must therefore seek the welfare of the people at all times, and the refusal to put the people first compels some patriots to take the right steps in assisting the government govern well. The hike in electricity tariff impoverishes further the already suffering people of Nigeria and denies them the right to a decent living. Instead of taking remedial action or engaging in a meaningful dialogue, Nigerians were visited with a barrage of the unusual propaganda. In light of this persistent inaction, we, the Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, and the Trade Union Congress, TUC, hereby issue a notice of announcement of an indefinite nationwide strike action to the federal government and also to Lagos State people, commencing from 12 a.m. today, from 12 midnight of today, Sunday. We reiterate that since the national minimum wage negotiation exercise has not been concluded and the agreed wage has not been passed into law, the hike in electricity tariff not reversed, categorization of consumers into bands not stopped as demanded, Nigerian workers are compelled by these failures to embark on an indefinite nationwide industrial action. Beginning today, 12 midnight of 3rd of June, 2024, to press home our demands. The NLC and TUC in Lagos State, we are united in this cause. Because an injury to one is an injury to all. And we call on all our affiliates in the state, in Lagos State, all the 55 affiliate unions of Nigeria Labour Congress and all the affiliate unions of Trade Union Congress to join forces together to ensure a total shutdown. Even the marketmen and market women and the general populace to prepare for this decisive action. We cannot and we will not accept any further delay or excuses. The welfare of Nigerian workers and people of Nigeria is non-negotiable. The pain and the struggle is becoming unbearable. And we are ready to take all necessary steps to ensure that the rights are protected and their voices heard. We regret the inconveniences, the refusal of the federal government to hear and to heed our demands, because all of us in Nigeria. But we assure you all our determination to pursue this cause to its conclusion. That is the test of our national body. Now, the test of the Lagos NLC and TUC will be read by my counterpart, chairperson of TUC in Lagos State, Comrade Benga Ekindale.
Solidarity forever! Solidarity forever!
Solidarity forever. Dear comrades and gentlemen of the press, we bring you fraternal greetings from our national bodies, the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria. And we use this opportunity to inform all of us as Nigerians, and especially as Lagosians, about the goings on at this moment, and of course the decision of the state councils following the instruction of our national body. We will recall that it was on the 19th of April 2004 that the minimum wage, 2024, that the minimum wage expired. The last one was in 2019, and it took a lot of months after the federal alignment to have the states comply. As we speak today, some states are still not complying with that minimum wage, despite the humongous allocation that they get, despite the convoys that they go around with, despite the opulence that they parade all around, despite the multi-million naira cars that they buy, the exotic cars, vehicles that they buy and share among themselves, despite the life that they live. But the common man is the one that must bear the brunt of the economy, which is where they have led us as a people at this time. The minimum wage has expired, and one would expect that by now we should have concluded discussions around the minimum wage and have a new payment regime that can make the average worker survive the economic condition, the situation that we find ourselves. We will also recall that subsidy was removed last year. I think it was about this time last year that was done. And also the forest regime in the nation was also tampered with. And we are all witnesses to the attendant effect of these two major policies on the economy. The prices of items have skyrocketed, and we are grappling with the challenges that have emanated from this. And therefore, our national bodies have been talking about this. They have taken a lot of steps. They have been in discussions, and an ultimatum was issued about a month ago, over a month ago, during the last May Day celebrations, that come May 31, if there is no conclusion, there will be no guarantee of industrial harmony in the nation. Where we are now is a worker struggling to even get to work on a daily basis, let alone talk about how he can feed his family or how he can clothe himself. We are also witnesses to the movement of prices of accommodation. The rent has skyrocketed. So how do we survive in this regime? As we speak, we were talking with our families. We all know what happens. You go to the market. What was the price of pepper about 3 months ago? How much do you buy it now? Pepper, a quantity that costs about 7,000 naira. Right now, it's over 50,000 naira in the market. So how do we survive? In 2019, after the last minimum wage, the value of the minimum wage was about $125 that the Nigerian take as minimum wage. What is the value today? Just over $20 as of Nigeria. If you look at it, what is the global standard of living in poverty? You all know what it is. It is, if you live below $2 daily, you are living in abject poverty. Where does this keep us as workers? What is the value of 30,000 naira today, about $20, that is less than $1 in a day. So where does that keep us? We are in abject poverty. Despite this, we see our political office holders junketing about in private jets, junketing about with a retinue of convoy without care for the common man. Shall we fold our arms and continue to watch like this? No! While we continue to writhe in pain and continue to languish in our places of work and our homes. We cannot continue like this. As we're talking about this, we know what has been spent, what has been budgeted for the renovation of the National Assembly. We know what has been spent to even complete the construction of the residence of the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Just recently, we heard the humongous amount that will be spent on Hajj sponsorship in Nigeria, 90 billion naira. In such economy as this, and we claim there is no money. We hear of states that continue to buy exotic cars for different people in their states, and you want to say that the common man, the ordinary man, cannot survive, cannot breathe. We say, let the poor breathe. It's time for the average worker to breathe. And that is why we're saying this cannot continue. And as state councils of Nigeria Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress, we are going to follow to the letter the instruction of our national body. And we're calling all our members by this press conference to withdraw our services across the state, from the 5 districts of Lagos State, across the 57 LCDs of Lagos State. Stay at home. You do not have to come to work from midnight today into tomorrow. We are withdrawing our services. And we shall have the monitoring team, as usual, to go around and monitor how we have complied as workers with this directive of our national body. We implore all Nigerians and all Lagosians in particular to please keep faith with us, because where we are now is the survival of the common man. Because every worker you see that goes out daily to work has a lot of people, immediate family and extended family, that depend on us. We are and will remain the hope of the common man in this nation. If we cannot breathe, the common man is not breathing, and that should not be allowed to stand. And we're also using this to call on those who are supposed to be engaging in this discussion to return to the negotiating table and speedily complete this process, so that we can have things in the economy run as they should run. We must also state that this action we're embarking on at this point is not only about the minimum wage. We'll recall that there was an illegal increase in the tariff on electricity that was done by NLC. The provision of law is to have stakeholders meet to discuss before any increase is passed, before any increase is allowed to happen. But they did not call that meeting of stakeholders. It was a decision made by NLC and the capitalists, the discos. And shall we continue to bear the brunt? No. Of the inadequacies of the Nigerian state, or of the inadequacies of the discos. We cannot continue to pay exorbitant amount for darkness. And that's why we're saying they have to revert to the old price. A situation where a minister of the Federal Republic that should see as his first charge, his first line of duty, the protection of our citizens, actually threatening the whole of Nigeria with darkness if we do not accept the new tariff, despite not following the process as outlined by the rules and regulations of even the office that he holds, is not what we should condone as Nigerians. And that's why we're saying this one that you have done cannot stand. It must be reversed. And we stand firmly and solidly behind our national leaders to say this tariff must be reversed and Nigerians must have a better life in this time in our lives. And we call on all of us to please do the needful as we continue to monitor. And after this press briefing, we will hold an NLC meeting and discuss further the nitty-gritty of all the things that we're going to do. Be rest assured, there will be adequate, full monitoring of the exercise tomorrow to ensure compliance. Thank you, gentlemen of the press. We thank you for your attention. We thank you for being with us, for keeping faith with us at all times. Thank you, Lagosians. We thank you, Nigeria.
Solidarity forever. Forever.
In addition, for record purposes and to tell Lagosians, in addition, our hospitals, the public hospitals and the private, let us tell you, remain closed and shut.
Please come again.
Only be open. Our hospitals, government hospitals, and equally the private hospitals, you remain closed, but you only be open to emergency cases. Only emergency cases in this instance. Also, our schools, both public and private schools, for the safety of life and protection of our children and the workers, since the workers will not be there, and since there is going to be a total shutdown, for the safety of your children, parents, please keep your children at home. Keep your children at home for their own safety. Children, the Nigerian Union of Teachers that are affiliates of the NLC has all the teachers in their union. We are withdrawing our services, and for that reason, please keep the students, our children, keep them at home. Even the WAEC that the government is harping on, that WAEC will continue. Let us state it clearly that the West African countries that are together, in doing WAEC for our students across the West African countries, Ghanaian workers, they are not calling out their government on the minimum wage. Benin Republic, Guinea, and all the other West African countries, Togo, they are not calling out their government. But we, the workers, we are withdrawing our services, and it's going to be a total shutdown. So for that reason, since our government has refused to give us a living wage or a great minimum wage that is commensurate with the socio-economic reality, you are giving us a disgraceful $20. We say no to that. So for this reason, for the protection of lives of our children, that matters so much to us too, we value them, we want them, and since it is just about examination, it can be rescheduled. Every student must stay at home. There will be no WAEC tomorrow in Nigeria. There will be no WAEC. We want to reiterate.
Usuleto in Africa. Usuleto in Africa. People united and never defeated.
There will be no WAEC. And let the government prepare to reschedule or to do another WAEC for Nigerian students. Since they have already failed us, we are also withdrawing our support for the government. In every sector, we are withdrawing our support. Total support, we are withdrawing it. And the education sector is not an exception. So it's a total sector that is involved in this aspect now. So our students, parents, ensure that you keep your children safe at home. Their life matters to us. And it's not a threat, we are not threatening. But we are only telling you that Nigerian government, they have even failed our generation that is yet to be born. And your children are also inclusive. If you don't fight it now, these children that you want to come and write WAEC, they will also lay curses on the leaders of today that refuses to fight for their future. So for that reason, WAEC is a no in Nigeria, across Nigeria. And also Lagos State is not an exception. Keep your children at home. And also, all other sectors, both in the private spaces, multinational companies, medium-scale establishment companies, small-scale companies, multinational, please don't ask your workers to come to work. Don't risk their lives. If you shut down for 24 hours to 48 hours, that will not take your company down. Allow your company to breathe. Don't press their neck. Allow the poor to breathe. The workers are the poor now in this country. Allow us to breathe. The prices of goods and services have already been escalated. We can no longer breathe. We can no longer survive with what is on ground in this country now. That is why every hand must be on deck. Market woman, market men. Those who are selling pepper, you are making your gains. Selling 6,000 naira worth of tomatoes that will not even be enough to cook a pot of soup. And we understand these challenges. These challenges is about everybody. About the workers, about the traders, about everyone, about the company owners, about employers, about employees, about Nigerians. Those who are representing us, they have disappointed us. Those are the National Assembly. You are the disappointment to us because you kept mute even since April 19 that the minimum wage has expired. Have we seen those representing us from our different constituency talking?
No!
Even those on the level of Labour Party, even those from Labour Party, we have not seen them talking about the workers' issues. Have we seen them debating about the issue of the workers? No. Have we seen them debating about the sufferings of Nigeria? No. The palliative that we are sharing, the rice and the beans, is only for 1 week. It's not enough to take care of our lives, of our families. And the presidency, the federal government continue to happy that they are giving so much money to the state government just to pushing this effect. Does it have any positive effect on the workers or on Nigerians? No. Or on the people that live in the state? No. And this is why we are saying it, that enough is enough. No. We can no longer continue to breathe under this arrangement. Those that are representing us, we know your salary. We know how much you are earning. Those in the rep. We know how much you are earning. Those in the senator. Your salary in Nigeria is the highest. Where you, the people that you are representing, they are the poorest and you are the richest. Shame unto you. Shame. Shame unto all of you. We withdraw our support from you and we tell you that you are not representing us. Look, it has gotten to that stage when you are chasing a snake will run away. But when you box into a corner, it will face you. Nigerians, we are ready for you. All of you that you say you are representing us, your total emolument in a year, just 460 members of the assembly. Only 360. Your total emolument is even more than the salary that put together that the whole workers in the country that are earning. So let us state it that since you are not representing us, since you have already leave us to our fate, since you have jeopardized the issue of the workers, we are withdrawing our services en masse. And we say that from 12 midnight today, in Lagos State and across the whole country, Nigeria remains in total shutdown. Thank you. If you have any questions, Comrade Akundayo and other people will answer your questions. Any question from the press? Question? After the question, please.
So for the private sector,
máa bèrè máa wò òun ẹni tó àwọn tó máa wò yẹn kò ní kó wò òun ẹni tó máa wò ní máa wò.
are you going to shut down their schools?
The response was,
tó máa wò rè kí ló ń wò kí ló ń wò.
the message was clear enough. All teachers, they are members of the union. All services are only.
àwọn ìjọba ṣe pé kámẹ́rà wò àwọn tó ní.
Then I like the private sector says no work, no pay policy for those that for the workers. I heard somewhere that they said no work, no pay. So what's your take on this? They said workers that do not come to work will not get paid during this strike period.
Now, in that instance, it is our duty to protect ourselves. And we're working with our national bodies, workers will be protected. If you're talking about no work, no pay, is it the worker that did not show up? Or is it the worker that was at work, did not work, or the worker is unable to to get to work, to deliver the services. And if any employer is talking about no work, no pay, shame on that employer. Since these challenges, the employers of labor, they have more than doubled the price of their goods and services. Yes. But the employee remains with the same salary that he earns. Do they even bother? Do they even care to wonder how do you get to work to deliver the job that you have to do? Do they even think about the psychological well-being of that employee to come and do that work? Do they even care whether that work is in a stable state of mind to not get himself hurt or killed at work? Shame on them, they are talking about that at this point in time. Do they not go to the market? Those people that run those private organizations, what they usually do, we are aware of. Whenever any challenge comes, the first thing that they want to cut off is the lower workers' salary. But they will never reduce the pens and pesticides of their own offices. That is where you start to hear about increasing certain allowances that they take to do the work well. But the common worker, the ordinary worker does not get that. So shame on them, they mention that. I will meet them at the right place. Thank you. Okay. Freedom cometh, my struggle. Freedom come, my struggle, my struggle. Freedom come, travel killeth, Abasha. Freedom come, my struggle, my struggle. Freedom come. Another challenge, another challenge, another challenge, double challenge you.